But we need to talk about your brilliant book, The Book of Gutsy Women. It's an extraordinary book. It's a collection of stories, really, about extraordinary women who have inspired you. Why did you decide to work on this together?
Because this is a conversation we've had literally since she was a little girl, to try to make sure she had inspirational role models, that there were women that I would talk to her about or that I would try to introduce her to, because I want kids, girls and boys, to have people they can look up to. I mean, we're living in a really cynical age right now. And so a lot of people say, oh, you know, there's just nobody. But there's so many people. We had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds that we wanted to put in the book. They obviously said, no, that would not work. So we had to cut it down to 103. But I want people to think about all the gutsy women in their own lives. You know, their mothers, their grandmothers, their aunts, their sisters, their daughters, their teachers, their friends, anybody who inspires you because they have courage and resilience and optimism about their lives.
There's an amazing... One person you talk about in the book is Sally Ride, who was the first American woman in space. Now, I didn't know this, but you wanted to be an astronaut.
Well, when I was 12 or 13, I wrote a letter to NASA asking how you became an astronaut. And they wrote back and they said, thank you for your letter, but we're not taking girls into the space program. And I was crushed. I mean, I could never have done it, believe me, but nevertheless, I was crushed.
I don't think it's too late.
But I can. Well, you know, if there's a seat for me on one of these, you know, SpaceX things,
it's a matter of time.
Probably find a seat for you.
Yeah. Chelsea just said President Trump will find a seat for you.
You come back.
You got to meet...
She got to meet her.
You met Sally Ride.
I did,
right? When you were a teenager, right?
Yeah, like 12 or 13, around the same age as when my mom wrote to NASA. I went to space camp in Huntsville, Alabama, and I worshipped Sally Ride. I just thought it was amazing that she was the first American woman in space, and I wanted to know everything I could about her, and I was so excited I got to meet her, and I was so excited that I literally fell flat on my face. And when you're 12 or 13, you're already a little bit awkward. And I was already, like, living out my awkwardness, like, on the world stage.
Yes.
And then I got to meet Sally Ride, and I was so overwhelmed that I just tripped and fell, like, right in front of her. Which hopefully she took as a compliment, because that's how I've had to view it in the, you know, 20-plus years since.
You're like, see? Gravity! Now, Hillary, it was just your birthday recently. And we found a birthday party photo.
Yes.
That you had a party in the White House.
Yes.
Which was a Dolly Parton themed party.
That's true.
And I absolutely love this party. This photo is fantastic. Were themed parties a big thing at the White House?
They were for us. We had so much fun. Yeah, we really did. And usually, the first one was a surprise costume party for me for my birthday. And it was so much fun, we decided, well, we're going to do it again and again. And we did.
How'd you have a surprise costume party? You're in your regular clothes.
Well, no, here's what happened.
Everyone else is wearing pantsuits. They're like, surprise!
No, I mean, what happened was that I was actually in the Congress arguing about health care, trying to get, you know, good old universal health care for everybody so they wouldn't be, you know, left out of being taken care of. And it was a long day. I came back. The lights in the White House were off, which I thought was really odd. Yeah. And so the car drops me off. I walk in, and there's two women who worked for me at that time and said, you've got to come upstairs right away. And I thought, oh, my gosh, what's happened? So I go up to the second floor, which is where you live when you live in the White House, and they had laid out on my bed a costume of Dolly Madison.
Right.
Complete with a black wig and one of those dresses that they wore at the turn of the 19th century. And they said, you have to put this on. I said, why? And they said, just put it on and come downstairs. And I was getting a little suspicious, but I wasn't quite sure what was going on. And there were a bunch of my friends who were having this costume party. But we did that the first year. The second year, we did another costume party, and I love Dolly Parton.
And then Dolly Parton.
I think she's amazing.
And you've got a microphone here.
Yes.
Which thankfully she didn't use.
Oh, really?
You know,
She has many talents, James.
Yes.
okay.
Many don't overlap with yours.
Yeah, can I just say how humiliating it is to be the mother of a baby who you sing to every night before you put her to bed? And I mean, I can remember I'd sit in a rocking chair and I'd be holding her and I'd be singing. Moon River was a particular favorite because I would look at the moon and I was thinking, oh my God, this is the most wonderful thing. So when the child you are singing to learns to speak, and among her very first words, there I am singing, rocking. She puts her little finger on my mouth and says, "No sing, Mommy."
I still feel badly about this.
Stick around. More of these two when we come back.